each of the cases in terms of working out the number of points. Hope this helps. Let's look at the next example. In this example, we have a sequence of 1, 3, 5, 7. We can see that the numbers are odd numbers. So the next one would be 9, 11, 13, etc. So this sequence is given to us. We don't know how far it goes. It continues till. The question is, how many terms are needed to give a sum? So we need to find the sum. That means adding the terms just above 200. So that's another important piece of information. We want to get a sum just above 200. So the question is, how many of these numbers do I need to add to give me a sum just above 200? So it's obvious that we need to use some form of repetition in solving this problem. The question that arises is, does this problem require fixed repetition, or do we need something that depends on a condition? In other words, conditional repetition. Fixed repetition would require us using a for loop for I from 1 to 10, meaning we know that the loop will execute 10 times. Conditional repetition is when we are unsure of the number of times the loop will execute, and it will stop when the condition fails. In conditional, well, in fixed repetition, we know that we will use a for loop. But in conditional repetition, we have two options. We could use the while loop, or we could use a repeat until loop. So in this example, we can see that the repetition is dependent on some type of a condition where the sum gets to just greater than 200. So we need to solve this problem using either a while or a repeat until. Let's first try to figure out what's needed in this question. So we have terms that we need to generate. The terms need to start at 1, and then it needs to increment in 2 each time. So it then becomes 3, 5, etc. But this is our starting point for the term, which is 1, and thereafter it increments in 2s. The second thing that's needed is we need to find the sum. So we need to calculate the sum of the terms. So as we generate the terms, we will need to add them up. 1 plus 3, giving us 4. 4 plus 5, giving us 9, etc. But the question wants to know how many terms. So as much as we got the terms, and as much as we have this, we are summing up the terms, we also need a counter to count each term as we are summing it up. So the counter is going to be quite straightforward. It'll be 1, and then it'll go 2, and then 3, and then 4. So it's a basic counter that increments in 1. Let's try and convert this into Delphi code. So we know that the starting point of the sequence is 1. So my first term starts off at 1. If my first term is 1, and we know that the sum is less than 200, it would mean at that stage that the sum will be 1. And also, seeing that it is a term, my count will also be 1, since I've already got the first term. After I've generated those values, let's set our condition. While, and I need to put in some condition here that's going to help me to stop my repetition. What is this repetition dependent on? Let's read the question. How many terms are needed to give a sum just above 200? So you can clearly see that the condition is dependent on the sum. And while the sum is less than 200, the repetition should continue. The repetition should continue while the sum is less than 200. So while the sum is less than, so they want a sum just above 200. So we'll include equality. While the sum is less than equal to 200, what do we want to do if the sum is less than 200? Well, let's get the next term. Let's get the next term. So the term is its current value plus 2. So we're adding 2 to each value, to the previous value that we had. So term is term plus 2. So if I had 1, 1 plus 2 is 3, and that value 3 gets stored back in term. Let's accumulate that. Let's sum up. When I say accumulate, I mean I'm repeating the variable on both sides of your assignment statement, and in doing so, it's adding its previous value to its current value. So let's find the sum, and in this case, it will be sum. Let's accumulate again. Sum equals sum, that's an accumulator, plus, and I want to add up the term. So just as we did here, I take the value, when I have the sum of 4, take that sum, add it to the new term to give me a new sum. But in doing so, I've added a second term, so I need a counter. So count will be count plus 1. So that increments the counter. And I end. So when I go back up, I test if the sum is less than or equal to 200. Remember, this would have been the new sum that added the new term. And if it's still less than 200, I come in, I generate a new term. I would have added 2. I take that term, I add it back to my sum. I increment my counter. I then retest the sum. And this repetition process continues until the sum that we obtain reaches a value just above 200, in which case we go back up, and when the sum is just above 200, the condition is false. And when the condition is false, the loop ends. And then you can display. You can display using a show message, display in a rich edit, etc. But the display will only take place after the loop has completed. Something important to take note when you're working with the while loop is the concept of I, T, and C. I means you initialize. T means you test. And C means you change. So test, you are testing the condition. So here we were testing sum less than or equal to 200. That's what we were testing. Now, if you are testing a variable in the condition, the variable that you are testing must be initialized. So before you can test something, it needs to have a value. So we initialize it. So if we're testing sum, somewhere before the condition, sum should be getting a value. So sum is initialized. We then test it. And finally, you must then change the value of your variable in the condition. In this case, it's sum. and we are changing its value here. If you fail to change the value in your condition and you come into the loop, that loop is just going to continue infinitely because the value in the condition is not changing, and if it doesn't change, it means the condition will never be false. So you have to be cautious that when using a loop, a conditional loop in particular, that for a while loop, it follows the concept of I, T, and C. The same problem could be solved using a repeat until, and a repeat until works a bit different compared to a while loop. With a repeat until, we start with repeat and we end with the until, and we put in our condition. Unlike a while loop where we had a begin and end, a repeat until does not require a begin and end because the repeat until serves as the start and the end for the loop. With the while loop, the condition was executed first and then the statements took place. With the repeat statement, you have your statements executed and then your condition comes into effect. So what impact does that have? In the while loop, we said while sum is less than equal to 200, we did the statements. But in a repeat until, we would say repeat our statements until the sum is greater than 200. So the minute the sum reaches a value greater than 200, the repetition then stops. So you would gather from that, in a while loop, the repetition takes place when the condition is true, and in a repeat until, the repetition takes place when the condition is false. When the condition in a repeat until becomes true, the loop terminates. So that is the difference between the two loops. In my opinion, which would be the preferred loop to use? Each one has its own merits depending on the situation or the problem you are solving. But if you are unsure, my advice would be write or solve the problem using a while loop. That would be my advice.